Initially, we were told that coronavirus lockdowns would temporarily disrupt the United States economy. But now it seems clear that too much damage will be permanent. We're beginning to see businesses are rooting all over the country, and this includes some of the most iconic names in the retail world. GC when Penney announced that it will declare bankruptcy and close hundreds of shops, I warned that this would be just the tip of the iceberg, and that was certainly the case. In fact, on Wednesday, many analysts were absolutely shocked when news about Victoria's Secret decided to close about 250 stores. Victoria's Secret's plans to permanently close approximately 250 stores in the United States and Canada in 2020. Its parent company L Brands announced Wednesday. L Brands also plans to permanently close 50 Bath and Body Works stores in the United States and one in Canada, according to information the company posted online as part of its quarterly earnings. If this epidemic had passed rapidly, perhaps these stores will not have to be closed. At this point, it becomes apparent that this virus will be with us for a long time. In fact, WHO has announced that we have so far witnessed the largest number of newly confirmed cases in a single day on a global basis. Pier 1 Imports is another major retailer that closes stores. In fact, it is reported that only one of their positions will not survive. Pier 1 Imports, which previously said it would close half of its fleet of stores, now plans to close all of its locations. The retailer, based in Fort Worth, Texas, announced in a news release Tuesday that it was seeking bankruptcy court approval to begin an orderly wind down when stores are able to reopen. Following the government-mandated closures during the COVID-19 pandemic. I was never a big fan of Pier 1 Imports, but my wife loved to visit and see what happened. But now we will never be able to do it again. Something about that really upset me, of course, not the collapse in retailers. Car rental giant Hertz is on the verge of bankruptcy, and things don't look good at all. Hertz is on the verge of bankruptcy. At the end of April, it disclosed it had missed a large amount of lease payments on its rental cars. Since then, it has entered into forbearance and waiver agreements with these lenders that give it until May 22nd to come up with the money and a plan. Its cars now parked at various parking lots around the country are collateral for this debt. Some older timers may remember old Hertz as featuring the OG feature, Simpson. These were much simpler times, and to be honest, I really miss them. Unfortunately, times have really changed, and I doubt that Hertz will survive longer in this very challenging economic environment. Needless to say, many businesses will die in the coming weeks and months. As I discussed the other day, it is predicted that nearly 1 in every 4 restaurants in the United States will be permanently closed. Can you imagine how this would look? We will leave buildings everywhere, and this will be especially true in our poorer societies. The only chance to get out of this economic death spiral is a full-scale return to normal economic activity throughout America. But this will not happen anytime soon. The fear of COVID-19 will paralyze small and large businesses for the foreseeable future, and each new outbreak will create more reactions. For example, Ford closed 2 large production facilities a few days after reopening. Just days after reopening its American assembly plants, Ford temporarily shut down 2 separate factories, because employees tested positive for COVID-19. One plant in Chicago that builds the Ford Explorer, the Lincoln Aviator, and the Ford Interceptor police car stopped operations Tuesday afternoon after 2 employees tested positive for COVID-19. Then Ford's plant in Dearborn, Michigan that makes its best-selling F-150 pickup shut down Wednesday. If we keep closing things every time someone gets sick, our economic problems will get worse. Look, the truth is that a lot more people will get sick and a lot more people will die. In fact, a new study concluded that the United States death wage will be more than tripled by the end of 2020, even if existing social distance habits last for months. A new study suggests the number of Americans who will die after contracting the novel coronavirus is likely to more than triple by the end of the year, even if current social distancing habits continue for months on end. The study, conducted by the Comparative Health Outcomes, Policy and Economics Institute at the University of Washington's School of Pharmacy, found that 1.3% of those who show symptoms of COVID-19 die, an infection fatality rate that is 13 times higher than a bad influenza season. Of course, it certainly doesn't help us let people from other countries where COVID-19 begins to enter United States without any special screening. A glamorous Russian blogger says she has proved that the United States is open for foreign tourism again despite the pandemic, according to video obtained by dailymail.com. Sofia Semyonova, 33, a fitness model, told how she traveled on a crammed Aeroflot flight with 500 plus passengers with no social distancing from Moscow to New York City. She used her B2 tourist visa to enter America from Russia's coronavirus epicenter in 30 seconds without any extra questions. I don't know how this can happen, but apparently it is. In the end, COVID-19 will be literally everywhere, and almost everyone in the whole country will be exposed to it. And this fear of virus will paralyze our economy for the foreseeable future. The truth is, the for rent and available space signs you see are just the beginning. Much more are coming, and this will be a very dark episode for our nation. Dear Daily News Report viewers, you can find other videos by clicking on the top right button. We recommend watching, subscribing, and sharing. Thanks in advance. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.